Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kennel from therawAdvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Today we're going to make the most filling, hearty, raw vegan meal that I know how. Shepherd's pie. Let's get into it.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright, so let's get into this really thick and hearty low-fat raw vegan recipe. Now, I want to let you know this is from my newest book called 80-10-10 Simply Delicious American Classics. You can get this whole book with a lot more recipes for $6.99 right here. And I also want to let you know the quantities that I have right here for the recipe I'm making today are actually doubled. So if you want the exact amount for one serving, then click right here and go to my website to get the full breakdown. All right, so we have here Roma tomatoes, about 2 pounds. We have 2 little lemons. We have a large cauliflower, about 2.5 pounds. We have about 1 pound of portobello and or crimini mushrooms. Crimini mushrooms are actually baby portobellos. We have here about 6 to 8 green onions, 6 to 8 celery stalks. We have a hefty 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, a 1/4 cup of raw sesame seeds, and a hefty 1/4 cup of raw olives. Now, you can order raw olives online that don't have salt. If you find olives that have salt, you can find it at a general grocery store, black Moroccan olives. The best you can do in that case is to pit them and soak them in water, squeeze out the excess water to get as much salt out as possible. You don't have to use these in the recipe, but it definitely adds a lot of flavor. Alright, so the main tools you're going to need to make this recipe are an awesome blender. I 100% recommend the Vitamix. This tamper really makes the difference in being able to achieve a lot of different textures, which you'll see coming up here. Optionally, you can use an Excalibur dehydrator as well, which we'll get into later. And otherwise, a knife and a cutting board. Alright, so we're going to start with the tomatoes. We're going to cut them in half, reserving the stem end side. And the bottom portion we'll dice up and we'll put that in the casserole dish. We're going to take about half the celery, reserve half, and this other half we'll dice up, cut them lengthwise. But you can chop it as fine as you like. We'll add this to the casserole. Now we're going to take the cauliflower, 1/3 of the total cauliflower. If you have a food processor with an S blade, you can just pulse this as well as the celery and even the tomatoes if you want, depending on the texture you like. Here are 2 other options if you don't have a food processor. You could take the entire cauliflower and use your knife just to cut off the very tips, and this makes a bit of a crumble of the cauliflower and roughly will leave you with about 1/3 of the cauliflower if you cut off the whole florets. Option number 2 is to use your trusty Vitamix, small bits at a time. So we'll put little bits in here, and then using your plunger at a low speed of about 2 to 3, pulse up the cauliflower. What you want is a fine kind of ground beef type texture, so we'll dump that in here. So now we have our cauliflower, tomato, celery crumble. We're going to get into our tomato gravy to cover it in. So we're going to take the leftover tomatoes, the leftover celery, 1/2 of the green onions, both the whites, and we'll reserve the greens, the sun-dried tomatoes, and all the olives. Make sure you pit them. You don't want a pitty gravy! And blend, baby, blend. Boom! Full speed ahead! Come on! Here's that usefulness of that tamper! Alright, so now we have this really thick and rich kind of creamy tomato gravy. And what we're going to do is add all of these mushrooms. So again, you can use the crimini. The portobellos you're going to want to break up into little bits. Now, if you haven't seen my video, my favorite sources of vitamin D as a raw vegan, and you're curious about charging up mushrooms to be like vitamin D supplements, check out this video right up here. If you're not using a Vitamix, you can simply cut the mushrooms up into small little bits, but with the beautiful Vitamix, we're going to put it down between a 4 and a 5.5, turn it on, and just push the mushrooms into the sauce to really chunk them up. This is where that tamper really comes in handy. You can get all the little bits into the blades. Almost forgot the green onions. There we go. Pour this all over top of that. Alright, so once you've mixed this all well together, you just smooth it out in the pan. If you want to get a little bit crazy on this, you could add a little bit of cumin or a little bit of chopped up hot pepper or whatever you like, but this is the nice simple version. Try and get it nice and even across the casserole dish. And then we're going to move on to the mashed potatoes. Alright, so for the mashed potatoes, we have the remaining cauliflower. We're going to chop that up really fine and put it into the Vitamix blender. Get your Vitamix right here. Shame. So we put in about half of the cauliflower, juice up all this lemon, add all the lemon juice, the bottom portions of the remaining green onions, and all the sesame seeds. Now the reason we only have half the cauliflower in there is so that we can grind up these sesame seeds really smooth into a delicious creamy mashed potato. So let's get her going. Full blast! Really use that tamper to get it in the blade. Grind it till it's really creamy. So break up or chop up the remaining cauliflower and add it to the blender. Now, some people like a little bit of a lumpy mashed potato. Other people like it really smooth. It's all up to you. And here we are again. Blend, blend, blend. Oh, I like my mashed potatoes really creamy! Oh, dang. It's ridiculous. Seriously tastes like mashed potatoes. Now, this is where you can add in the extra little bit of green onions. And if you wanted, you could put in a little bit of dill or some herb that you like. With the green onions, you want to put it at a low speed so you have a little bit of texture. Maybe a quick pulse. And there you have it. There's our mashed potatoes. So we're just gonna dump this over top. You want to get every little last bit out. All right, now we'll smooth this out. Oh yeah, there you have it. This is done right now. You could serve it like this, but if you want to take it that extra step, you'll notice that I used one of these Pyrex casserole dishes for the little arms. You can slide it right into a dehydrator. 115 to 118 for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. It'll just warm the whole thing up and condense the flavors even more. Oh, it's getting a little crispy, and my sister came and took a nice portion for her and her hubby. This is the monster-sized crisp portion. Let's put it back in there for the 45. Okay, so it's time. It's dinner time. It's dinner time. Time to take it out. Let's look what it looks like. Oh, blammo. Seriously, I'm ready to dig into this. Let's bring it upstairs. All right, so it's the moment of truth. Let's get a good scoop of this guy. Look at that. You see that? Trust me, you want this. So if you want to grab this recipe, deluxe raw vegan burgers, chili, mac and cheese, ice cream floats, hash browns, and a whole heck of a lot more, definitely check out right here, American Classics Raw Recipes. I hope you love this video. I hope you try this out and share it with some non-vegans and non-raw foodies. It's a serious, thick, hearty treat. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and check out my Raw Recipes playlist for a whole heck of a lot more free recipes as well. Wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit. Bye! Shepherd's pie. Raw vegan style food. Ooh, don't forget to click here to get your 2 free ebooks. Plus, check out this video, barley grass juice powder, the best green powder. Find out more. Ow! Excited to announce my new iPhone app, free with 101 frickin' awesome recipes, Terry retreat treats, food combining charts, shopping carts, and more.
From the fall, in connection to the first